You probably don't notice this. Well, maybe you do, but a lot of people don't realize how crooked their house is. You live in a house that is probably not square, plumb, and level, and when you install a kitchen, it absolutely needs to be, or it's not going to perform the way it's designed to. Before you put even one cabinet on the wall or on the floor, make sure you start with a level baseline. Find your level. One of the more precise ways to do this, even as a homeowner, is to find yourself a laser level. You can get these at any hardware store. It's self-leveling. It shoots a laser on the wall so you can see exactly the height that your cabinets need to be installed at. When cabinets are installed, they have to be secure to the wall, and the only way to really secure your cabinets to the wall is to make sure they're screwed into studs. The 2x4s that are inside your wall, or 2x6s. This ensures that your cabinet full of plates isn't going to crash down on top of you. And it makes sure that your base cabinets are also secure so that when you're pulling on them and opening them, they're not shifting around. It's pretty obvious, but in order to do this, you have to find out where the studs are. And so you should use a stud finder or some other method, whether it's just driving nails endlessly into your walls until you find those studs. There are some instances where this is not possible, and it also depends on what's inside those walls. If that's the case and you're not into opening up all the walls, tearing all the gyprock off, and making sure that you pre-install places where you can screw into, then you need to do other things like add anchors or screw to other cabinets. But it always, when possible, a cabinet should be screwed to a stud. Something that I didn't really do here because, well, I only had one of them, was to install your wall cabinets first. If you're a DIYer, you likely don't have all the proper tools to install wall cabinets in the first place. And so to make matters worse, do not put your base cabinet on the floor in front of it installed so that now you have to reach over it to hold that wall cabinet in place. Install your wall cabinets first. It'll be way easier. You can get ladders in nice and close. You can get up underneath it. You can get a helper with you underneath it to hold it in place. It'll make your life much, much easier and less likelihood that you'll drop something or make some kind of catastrophic mistake. A lot of homeowner do-it-yourselfers will miss this next one. You need to secure your cabinets together. This will make sure that the cabinets are one cohesive unit that are secured to the wall and to each other, making your kitchen that much more reliable. Over time, through use, cabinets can shift, and you don't want one cabinet to be hanging lower than the other. So if they're secured together, it will help solve this problem down the road. It'll make the whole thing that much more secure, and you'll have the peace of mind to know that it's done correctly. I've already established that your house is crooked, so when you're installing cabinets, what do you do about that? What do you do about putting a cabinet on a wall and the wall's not level or plumb? How do you make sure that your cabinets are going on the wall square, plumb, and level? Well, you need to use shims. Go grab 2 bundles of shims and get really used to the smell and feel of them because you're going to be using a lot of them most likely in your kitchen. Shims are the secret sauce that make our kitchens what they look like. Behind every kitchen, behind every wall cabinet and base cabinet, underneath, there are a lot of shims. If you have cabinets that have adjustable legs on the base, that is great because then you don't have to shim the gables that touch the floor, which makes it a lot easier to install. So if you can get cabinets that have adjustable legs, this can be a bonus for you when you are installing because you can easily reach underneath and adjust them to exactly the way you need them. But you do need to make sure that you shim or level all your cabinets so that when it's all installed, everything works correctly. Uneven cabinets, the drawer mechanisms aren't going to work, the doors are going to be misaligned, and things could even roll off your countertop. So make sure that you do everything you can to get it as level as possible. This is the secret sauce to kitchen installation. It's not just screwing them to the wall or to each other. It's not all the fancy stuff that goes into it. It's not the design and the functionality. It's making sure that they're shimmed to be plumb and level and square. If you do this, you'll be a very happy kitchen owner. A lot of you will have kitchens that are made of cabinet grade particle board. This is the particle board that's used to make all kinds of cabinets, whether they're ready to assemble or factory custom made. So if you find yourself in this position, this next tip is going to help you immensely. Pre-drill your holes. It's that simple. When you screw into that particle board, it does break apart. And you don't want it to break apart for a couple reasons. One, it might not be as strong, but 2, it kind of makes a mess. Now, particle board screws are designed to kind of cover up a bigger portion of the hole when the screw goes in. By pre-drilling the hole, you solve this problem, and it makes the screw go in that much easier. Driving a screw into melamine can be frustrating. Very frustrating when you're holding a cabinet on the wall with one hand, you're trying to drill up over your head because you didn't do what I told you, and you put your base cabinets in first and you can't get in there and the screw's not going in. You're getting really frustrated and really upset. Ask me how I know. Pre-drill the holes, it'll make it that much easier. And then you can also just pre-install the screws a little bit so that when they are on the wall, you don't have to worry about trying to get the screw in there. It's already in. This is a really good tip that a lot of people don't do. Anywhere you have to screw your cabinet, make sure that you pre-drill it. It'll make your life so much easier. This one should be obvious, but maybe isn't. You need to make sure you're grabbing the right length screw when you're drilling it to the wall or when you're securing cabinets together. This is the one area where installers will get it wrong from time to time. Even professionals will just grab the wrong length screw and like screw through the gable of a cabinet and be like, oh crap, what did I just do? It happens to the best of us, or to the best of them. It even happens to me. So make sure you know what length screw you're grabbing and that you grab a long enough screw to secure your cabinet to the wall, and you grab a short enough screw that you can screw cabinets together without poking through the other side, so that you don't end up with a screw coming through a gable and a very upset homeowner, being yourself, who now has a hole on the side of their cabinet for no reason. And you just have to live with it because you're probably not going to go get it replaced because you did it and it costs money. So be aware of that. Keep your doors and drawer fronts out of there. Get them out of the room, put them somewhere else. Make sure that they're off in a safe place, because you're walking around with drills and drill bits and screws and cabinets. Make sure your doors and drawer fronts are gone. You don't want them to be around you. You want to install these cabinets. I know you want to get the doors on and get it looking pretty and get the handles on and all that stuff, but don't rush this part. Get your cabinets on, get them all in place, make sure everything is square, plumb, and level, and then only then, when all the mess is cleaned up, then go install your doors. If your cabinets are square, plumb, and level, then your doors and drawers should fit just fine. If you've made it this far in the kitchen installation process, congratulations, you've just done the easy part. I hate to tell you, but the hard part is what's coming next. And that's making sure that all the gaps are filled by using fillers and caulking and other methods to make sure that the kitchen looks complete and finished. This will include toe kick and trim work, all the things that really polish up the kitchen so that when you walk in there, it gives you that wow effect. And the reason it's challenging for a lot of people like myself is we're not used to doing finite precision work with wood every day of our life. And so when it comes to it, we can mess up easily because we just don't know the tricks and we don't have the muscle memory to do things the way that someone who's professional can do it. But if you take your time during this most important step, it'll make sure that the end process is absolutely fabulous. To me, it's the most annoying part of the job because I just want to get the countertops on, I just want to get the thing finished, but no, I got to go put in fillers and I got to caulk the thing, and it's, you got to do it. Now, before I tell you the last one, which is really important and kind of an ongoing thing, let me tell you about my online kitchen design solutions. I have one that might be right for you, including a one-on-one, 1 hour long consultation where we can go over and discuss and brainstorm and make changes to or just agree on your kitchen design. A lot of homeowners are designing kitchens themselves or have designs from other places, and they just want a second set of eyes that's non-biased and really just wants to help. There's a link in the description below. Check it out. There's an ongoing part of the kitchen installation process that you need to be thinking about over the years of use, and that is to make sure that once your doors and drawer fronts are installed and in place, that you go back every now and then and adjust them to make sure that they're level and plumb and square themselves, because they are on hinges and drawer systems that get used, and the moving parts, because they're moving, will get misaligned just over time. And you'll find that when you close your doors, they're uneven, there's odd gaps, and maybe this doesn't bother you, but if this does bother you or you want to adjust this, then you can easily do that with your hinges and your drawer systems. For most hinges, they have 3 points of adjustment, and it's very easy to do. There's lots of videos on this, and you can ask the place where you bought your kitchen, how do I adjust my hinges? And the same goes for drawer fronts. This will not only make your kitchen look new all the time, but it will help save your hardware and the life of your hardware, because when these things are misaligned and they're operated over and over again, they will wear out quicker. As you can see here, I'm cutting my countertop, and this was a very nerve-wracking experience for me because this countertop was back ordered for an extra 3 weeks, And so I was more than ready to get this thing installed, and then I had to go drill a big hole in it for a sink. I did not want to mess this up. So I was really nervous cutting this hole, but I measured everything a few times. I double checked, I made sure that it was in the right location, and at the end of the process, voila, the sink fit in the hole perfectly, to my surprise almost. And that's just part of the experience. You will be nervous when you're doing some of these things. There's zero point in installing a kitchen that's not functional. So watch this video to help you figure out, how do I design a functional kitchen? See you soon.